Yo, haha, Magnificent. What is good, YouTube? It's your boy Magnificent coming back from the backseat of a car. Which we all know it's about the pandemic, and I had to do videos in here in order to give you this shoe review. And fortunately, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't think that this shoe was coming until Tuesday. I was getting ready to go to the grocery store to handle my business today, but you know what? I figured this shoe came early, a lot earlier than expected, and I do have a surprise for you guys at the end of the video to unveil about this shoe. Of course, I'm talking about the Para-Noise 2.0, and you've seen it in the thumbnail. And this story with Kwon Ji-young, better known as G-Dragon, is a very, very intriguing story, and I'm glad to actually have the opportunity to present this story on the Magnificent YouTube channel, because if it's one thing that he preaches, and I know he preaches utopia, a more peaceful version of the world and society, but at the same time, it's his hard work and dedication that I admire the most. And quite frankly, a lot of people may or may not know that is what my mom taught me as a little kid, to not rely on others to do things for you or get things for you. If it's something that you want as an individual, you go out and handle it yourself. Be a better version of yourself. And I keep preaching this on my YouTube channel, because you're going to live your life better when you don't rely on your spouse, your friend, your parents to do things for you. You as an individual have every right, have every choice to be a better version of yourself and work hard to get at whatever it is you want. Right? There's no problem with assisting, but as an individual, especially to my YouTubers, or my subscribers, I should say, I preach that, listen, the one thing you don't want to do in life is rely on others. Rely on yourself, 100%. I'm keeping it real straight with you guys before we get into the shoe unboxing. Now, actually, let me bring the box over, because this is pretty dope. I don't want to uncover the address real quick, because I don't know about certain things, certain people. But anyway, let me get the box undone here, and I'm going to explain to you why I think this shoe has one of the greatest backstories, at least of 2020, because G-Dragon, when he was a young kid, actually was determined to be an entrepreneur, a music artist, and like a visual artist, like a painter. And he set his goals at a very young age. I'm guessing his parents motivated him at some point to do these goals. He was in the military, and of course he got discharged, but he didn't let that discourage from his goal, right? He continued at it, and trying to basically perfect his craft. And you can see that he just wants to promote positivity in the world. And that's what I like to do on the Magnificent channel as well, because, again, I want to see people succeed in life, not fail. So let's get this box opened up. You can see it right here. There's all types of messages and different designs on this box, which I think is dope. You can see right here, it got size 13. So this is a personal pair. And I don't know how many pairs were released to the world, but just to have this on the channel, again, I am very grateful. Thank you, Nike. Very appreciative. Of course, it does say on the box, I think it says, I don't want to say power is the way of life. I don't think that's the message he put out. But it does kind of look like that on the side of the box. Comment below if you know what this says on the side, but I'm pretty sure it says something of... I'm pretty sure it says is the way of life. I don't know if it's power. Peace. Maybe it's peace. But then I see a W right here. So it's kind of weird. But anyway, going back to the shoe box, I think that the presentation, his designs, and as an artist, in terms of creating different types of art, if you haven't known, the Para-Noise 1.0 that came out last year was predominantly upper black. This is 2.0, which is predominantly upper white, and it has the kind of like the drawings that, of course, I just heard Siri, and it have the drawings that G-Dragon himself has done to put on the actual shoe itself. So this box, if I'm not mistaken, is a pull-out box. Pause. because when you take the tab right here, you just pop this open, and this should be able to slide out. So let me just slide this out and take a look at it. Ooh. So before I even pull out the shoe, let me just show you what the, oh man, the paper cover is dope with this. So you can see right here, this is in Korean language, which is Hangul, if I'm not mistaken. And it just basically reads Nike. That's what you're looking at right now. And of course, Siri is trying to tell me something. I have no idea what it's doing. But anyway, so that's pretty cool. And you can tell it's very detailed. So we all know that G-Dragon is a South Korean rapper, popular South Korean rapper. He basically adored the culture of hip hop. And as a young kid, this is why I want to actually, before I even pull out the shoe, as a young kid, he admired Air Force Ones. This is the reason why that he did the collaboration specifically with the Air Force One. As a young kid, he couldn't afford it. He was basically just like me and every other YouTuber you're probably familiar with on YouTube, where as a young kid, we weren't really fortunate to have expensive shoes. Let's just put it this way. He admired the Air Force Ones, and he worked hard. And it was more to a shoe to them. It was kind of like an accomplishment, like, ooh, I get to have this shoe. But he, well, as a young kid, would go to the Nike store, kind of press up against the window. I want to say, of course, I'm being a little bit dramatic, but looking at the window and admiring the Air Force One from the outside looking in, right? So it's a shoe that he really wanted but couldn't afford back then. You fast forward, and I think it took about 6 years for him to get that entertainment aspect in terms of being an entrepreneur, an artist. Like, that stuff takes time. And of course, we know that it wasn't just as easy as pie to get to where he is now. I'm pretty sure within those 6 years, he had to face challenges to get to where he is right now, but he was able to achieve that. And now that explains, and hopefully you understand now why he did the collaboration with Nike specifically for the Air Force One, because this was his favorite shoe back then. So now, let's get this thing unraveled so I can take a look. This is dope. Oh my God, this is dope. And I'm saying this is dope because I already saw the package. And you should actually see, you're probably going to see like a still picture of the insole. And I'll get to that later. But let me just put this back in. Put this box to the side so we can get into the shoe itself. And you can see the details that he put on this shoe is so dope. First and foremost, you all know that your classic Nike Air Force One low. I'm going to take the cardboard insert or the shoe tree out because that is going to block away from what I need to do. We are going to do an on feet. But basically how the shoe works, it's just like the Para-Noise. And for those that don't know, a Para-Noise, just think of a form of music, different types of music that he basically, when I say he, G-Dragon, as I kick this, G-Dragon put together into his music, his form of music. When he was a young kid, he was a part of a group called Big Bang, but I'm not sure about what happened afterwards, but it seems like they transitioned afterwards, and he became, as a leader, he became his own entity. Like he decided he kind of wanted to go down his individual path, much like Beyonce and oh man, don't tell me off Destiny's Child. I almost forgot the group. But anyway, so getting to the shoe, you can see right there, of course, you do have the Nike Air embroidered on the heel of the shoe. And it does feature this, I want to say this flower. Oh, this is the daisy motif that's on here. So that daisy motif that you see on the tongue is featured there. It's also featured in these inserts. Now, the eyelets that you see right here where the laces don't go through, where they're exposed, you can insert these, you can insert these I want to say these items, but it goes into the actual shoe for kind of an extra pop into the design. It does feature these black brush strokes that's on the midsole, both the medial and the other side. Let me put this here. And then on the outsole, it does continue to have those continued black strokes, those black painting strokes on the outside of the shoe, which I think is dope. Of course, it features that black leather Nike swoosh on the upper or the side panels, both side panels. Both shoes pretty much look similar, and I like the fact that they put like these thick laces on the shoe with the aglets that reads PE, and I think that's, most people would think player exclusive, or I don't think that in this case. This is more so like the PE for Peaceminusone. And somebody asked me about what does Peace-1 mean to me. When I read about G Dragon's history and what he wants in life, especially for people, I think back at Woodstock. Not to say that I lived in Woodstock, but it was times where you had war going on, but you had a group of people that just wanted peace, and that's kind of what I would want in life. I try to tell people that when I live life, I try to live it now where it's just mutual respect. I'm not going to force you to like me, and there's nothing in the rule book that says I have to like you, but I will respect you. So that's what I wanted to kind of put out there. But getting back to this, I think peace minus one, when I hear that phrase, I think of peace minus evil, if that makes sense. So it's like it's peace minus the BS, if that makes sense. That's the way I look at Peace-1. And of course, there's no true definition to it, at least that I could think of, but maybe somebody can spin it. The only person that can really truly understand or explain it is G Dragon himself. But the way I took it based off his message, a world of peace without the evil, if that makes sense. So let's get straight to the tag. And of course, on the tag itself is pretty dope because it says artist. It shows like I think it shows G Dragon, if I'm not mistaken, and the title just shows #1 Para-Noise, and then the phrase "just do it." That's what Nike got that coin phrase "just do it" back in 1988. That's why you see that right here, and of course you see the whole Peace-1 logo on the shoe itself. But over time, when you're wearing this shoe, it's supposed to, the white upper on the shoe is supposed to fade away, and it does reveal the artistic design for G Dragon, which you'll see right here. The inserts, I think, are easy to come out, but I think there's a still picture right here which shows the insert on both sides of his artistic design. And I'm gonna tell you right now, this guy is so creative. Quan Ji Young, man, he's a real one, man. He's a real one. He just wants peace in society. I think a lot of people want that. We're tired of the people that just want to create chaos, Babylon. We want like more people that are influential. And if anything, and not only as an artist producing good music for South Korea and actually internationally, because he's known worldwide, it's the fact that, behind his story and my story has similarities, right? Because I didn't have much when I was little. And like I said, my mom taught me that if you want something, you have to work for it yourself. And that's what I've done growing up, maturing. But the one thing I will say, and also it does say Peace-1 inside the shoe. But anyway, the one thing I will say that when you're growing up as I did, you learn to be more appreciative. And I'm appreciative of everything, and I'm thankful for everything, no matter how big or how little it is. And I tell people, like, listen, a lot of people's goals in life is to be rich, right? We all want to be rich physically. And what I mean by that is rich, I have money, I have this, I have that. Cool. That's only one part of it. Your goal in life should be the 3 phases of being rich, right? You want to be rich mentally, rich spiritually, and rich physically. When you have all 3 of those, your life will be so much easier. It's not even funny. When you just focus on the rich and the money, I think that you're taking away, or you may be not focusing a little bit on the rich spiritual and the rich mentally. And quite frankly, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because when you look at Quan Ji Young's lifestyle, his career, again, didn't have much, worked hard to get to where he is now, everything flows. And I can tell, like, his mind, his spiritual connection to the world, he just has a different rendition of himself, if that makes sense. Like, he's thinking light years ahead. and I love it. And he wants a more peaceful, a more soundful, a utopia world where, a lot of people are just willing to think for themselves. They respect one another. And I respect him. I respect his grind, if you want to call it that way, but I do respect this shoe. And then the surprise I want to actually, before we go to the on-feed, the surprise I wanted to reveal about the shoe is, keep in mind, and before you guys get the torches and the and with the pitchforks on me. I've been with the sneakers app since 2017. I've used 2 accounts. My account, my wife's account. Some of you guys already know where this is going. And I don't know how. When I went after the shoe, I both my wife's account and my account was set to size 13, right? And we all know how size 13 is hard to get. So when I hit on my account, she also hit on her account for the same shoe. So I actually have another pair coming in. Again, I don't know what happened because I thought that this pair was supposed to come next week. That was the surprise I had for you guys. But Nike kind of like said, hey, ship this a little bit early, which I don't mind. Again, Nike, I'm very appreciative to have this shoe in the collection because, again, it's a very powerful story, very motivational story that I think a lot of people can take to heart. And again, I think it does. Yeah, I don't know if I covered this, but it does come with extra laces. And on the laces, on the aglets on this, has that motif, has that daisy motif on the actual aglet. So with that said and done, I'm just going to do the on feet for this. And shout out to G-Dragon, man. This is a dope shoe, a dope concept. And again, when you wear it over time, it will reveal his artistic design for the upper. This white chip paints away. And before I go, I will let you know, if anybody is a shoe collector and you're trying to collect this in your or you're trying to put these shoes in your collection, you're going to notice that some of the white is going to chip away. It's going to come that way. You can actually see it right there. And the reason why I'm pointing that out is because I know a lot of people freak out, but most of the pairs that got shipped, there is some type of chip somewhere along the shoe that's already exposed, that exposes the artistic design right there. And you can see that right there. It's right by the Nike stitch swoosh towards the toe box. So don't freak out. It does come that way, and don't think that there's a shoe out there that's perfect that doesn't have some type of chip to it already. Again, this, if you look carefully, like this white paint that's covering the upper is already chipped. It comes cracked. It's supposed to happen that way. That's the way he designed it. So salute to you, G-Dragon, man. I am very, very, very appreciative, and I do have another pair coming in. So it's kind of a double up. It's an unexpected double up. Never happened. It never happens to me and my wife at the same time. And the history of me doing this since 2017, it has never happened where both accounts hit on the same size. So don't freak out. And I'm pretty sure I wasn't the only one. From what I recall, there's a couple people I know that they actually did hit multiple pairs. And what happened was, for those that don't know, I think Nike reset some passwords on accounts to ensure that you are who you say you are. We all know that people like to use mass-produced accounts, and Nike did one of those gotchas during this release. Fortunately, I already knew my password to 2 accounts, so it's not much for me to take care of 2 accounts, but you got people out there that have like 3,500 accounts, and I'm just exaggerating, but it's the truth. You got many accounts, so it's hard to keep up with your passwords. They may have different passwords for different accounts. I don't know, but that was a good blitz by Nike to throw people off. And that's why this shoe didn't sell out as fast as it did in other countries, because this broke the internet. This shoe broke I know people like to talk about Travis Scott and other different collaborations, but this shoe internationally broke the internet. The only reason why it didn't break it as fast in America is because, again, Nike did that quick reset of the password that forced people to reset the password before they can get the shoe. So that kind of worked out to my favor. It kind of did, instead of 1 pair, Nike has blessed me with 2 pairs, and I'm very, very appreciative. So your boy Magnificent, all that said and done, I hope you guys enjoyed the Peaceminusone Para-Noise 2.0 white edition. Did I just hit my head? That's what happens when you're in the backseat of a car. I hope you guys take this message very seriously, and I hope that I motivated you at some point, because I really want a lot of people, especially in the middle of this pandemic, to take time, learn more about yourself, and don't be afraid to learn something new. I'm telling you right now, you're accustomed to it. When you open your mind up and you want to learn different things and learn stuff that you don't know or you haven't know, I'm telling you right now, it's the best thing your mind could ever get, and you will never get bored in life. You're only going to get bored, in my opinion, when you're not willing to learn different things. So your boy Magnificent, we're going to try these bad boys on, put the on feet for it, and go from there. You know the phrase, It is Sunday. You guys stay blessed.